So are you on the road these days? Are you?
Yeah.
I see a lot of dates on Instagram.
I am on
You're
the road
busy.
all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
How often are you out? Right now?
At least half the month, I think. Like half
So,
the
like,
weekends.
half
at
the
least,
weekends,
At
okay.
least.
Thursday, Sunday, or are you doing?
Yeah, usually. Or kind of one-nighters, they'll string them back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Are you doing the runs by yourself?
Sometimes I can bring someone.
Yeah.
And those are more fun. And then sometimes I run by myself.
What are the ones you can bring someone? Like bigger gigs?
I think
Where you have more budget? How does that work?
Or if it comes with another hotel, I'll bring someone.
It's the lodging.
Yeah.
But what about the flight? You have to fly them out, or they fly themselves?
They fly themselves. Although the friend of mine that I do like to bring, he used to work for an airline, so he gets free flights.
Oh, that is also a great life hack.
Yeah.
So
Like, if you can fuck someone that works for an airline.
Well, we don't fuck.
Okay, no, but I'm just saying.
I was like, I want it to be very clear. We don't fuck.
Yeah. So if you're a flight attendant that is funny at your plane,
Southwest. Those guys are constantly hooking it
They're
up.
I
comics.
do love Southwest.
They're comics.
They're
They-
constant. They're no.
They have a captive audience.
Yeah.
Truly,
they do
I'm
their
like,
type
is this
fives.
guy's type 5? Like, what's happening?
They're always really funny, or they just try really hard. and
They're
it's like,
trying.
you could stop.
But it's dad joke energy.
Yeah.
It
Like,
is.
so it's
Yeah.
like, yes, it is your captive audience.
Well, you
and
know,
you're
an
like,
airplane inherently is family friendly.
why?
Because families are traveling. I know. You won't hear the noise.
I feel like I've seen a couple of them really push it.
Yeah.
Like they're not
Really?
swearing, but it is innuendo.
Oh, well, innuendos you should go over.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but it's PG-13. There's
Yeah.
like they're
I think it's
dipping referential into like it's like how sometimes Sex and the City can be like cheeky, like that
Yeah.
kind of. It's like they're being cheeky.
Sure.
Yeah, like when like even the manner in which they're speaking implies
They're like, here are your peanuts. And
Yeah.
also.
peanuts. You know,
Everyone, Samantha.
yeah. No one wants. Yeah, and we need more Mirandas.
Well,
Anyways.
going back to touring, I'm very interested in how you decide on who to bring.
Oh,
Like,
that's
tell
a good
us about the
question.
decision
Oh,
process.
we have been
about
asked
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who to bring kind of as like my regular person to bring. But I feel like there's a couple schools of thought, right?
Yeah.
You bring
Yes.
someone that's useful.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like they carry your luggage?
Well,
Strong.
I would
Works for
say
an
now,
airline. Yeah.
No, I would say nowadays you bring someone with a camera.
Oh.
You bring camera guy. That's pretty popular. A lot of people.
But
Yes.
camera guy who also does comedy.
Yeah, a
And
lot
edits.
of people bring camera guy who does comedy.
Yeah,
who
and
Okay,
edits.
videographers out there, if you're the funny
I
videographer.
mean, literally, I am.
I'm not even
for
looking at a
one
camera.
because I was thinking about this. I
Yeah.
don't know any female comics who are videographers,
It's
and
very
I
hard-
would love to bring a female comic who does video stuff, but I don't know any of them.
There are many female cameramen, like camera people.
Yeah.
I was working
Is
on
a
this
videographer
project.
different? Then is that like
I mean,
mixologist
it's
versus
all of it.
bartender?
And
That's a good question.
that's really. I guess it's just
Are we
the
just
price
putting
of the
respect
video.
on the
Yeah. Just like, did one go to a trade school and one went to get a BFA?
Yeah.
No, but I would say that like I was doing this project once and it was a steady cam that was needed and the harness because of the way the harness is constructed, it precludes a lot of women, especially if they have larger
Yeah.
chests.
Yeah.
And so that's like a physical limitation
Also,
of
they're
their
heavy. A lot of
Yes.
the camera stuff is heavy, but for what we're doing, it's not.
core strength.
It's stick a camera on a tripod, make sure
And
it's
especially
in
the
focus.
bleeping and the blooping.
I saw
The
one
editing.
guy to show
Yeah.
use a GoPro. I'm like, this is a
On his
video.
head?
No.
No, he was like on a little.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
really.
Okay.
Is that,
He was
is
like,
that
it's good
4K?
enough. Yeah, 4K.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if the sound's great, but like
Yeah, probably
usually
not.
like stand-up videos, the sound's like really like boomy.
I think
and
the sound needs to be good though.
it
Absolutely.
does. It
So
really
I
does.
think you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're not getting good sound.
And absolutely not even just you, but the audience as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it all needs to be.
needs to be good sound.
Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy
that's-
that we're like we have to self-produce now?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But so I bought a camera and I'll tape my own sets and stuff. But 1 in 10 times it's a little out of focus. It's a little washed
Yeah,
out
yeah.
because I can't tell because I'm on stage.
Right.
So I'll focus it for the comic in front of me, but then when
then you get
I'm
on.
on stage,
Yeah.
it's like,
like-
oh, I didn't stand exactly where they were standing. Maybe I'm a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pale, and then it kind of reflects too much or whatever I'm wearing.
Right.
We
So
need more.
ISO
We need more women in STEM.
wrong?
This
Yeah.
is what this is all about.
That's what it is.
We need more women in STEM.
Yeah.
But seriously, I don't know any female
No,
comics
you're-
that
you're
are
to-
also like
you're totally right.
big camera editing people.
No,
Yeah,
I know
me neither.
Or
one.
like have that aspiration because a lot of
Right. Even men.
male
I don't
comics.
Know any. Oh, you do
No,
know?
I feel like a
That's-
lot of new male comics. Are
Absolutely.
into
That's how they're
cameras.
getting into it.
That's how they're getting into it. Is because
Because
of
they can
this
get feature
need
work. Yeah.
for camera
No
people.
way.
Yes.
Yes.
You could do this.
Yes.
I just bought a camera. I
Yes.
can do this.
You could do this.
You don't need. You're better than you. You're,
No.
you don't need.
You'd be surprised at what we're not better than.
Irene, you're too nice. This is my home.
Yeah, this studio is actually Peter's.
Yeah.
This is my home.
I have to sleep here later.
Yeah.
This is the couch you're sleeping. Yeah.
I mean, I do think that but I do know a couple of women working in the industry in Hollywood specifically who are editors.
Yeah.
But they would never do something like
That's
this.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of women would be like, I would never.
Because
Okay.
they're too rational.
Yeah.
So that's your first choice
Yeah.
to take out. So that's
But
kind of.
that's not really my first choice. I would
Oh.
say that's a lot of people's first choice.
Oh, okay.
Is camera person.
Yes.
That's probably my second choice. My first choice is someone who's a very good joke writer.
Oh, because
Shocking.
you don't want to write.
No, because I want
Punch-ups.
tags or punch
Yeah.
ups.
Ah,
For like
interesting.
my hour that I'm working on is I want someone
Okay.
to watch a few of my sets and be like, oh, you move this around or like have
Yeah.
notes.
And is that something you would pay for, or you would like just expect because they're there?
I don't think I would pay extra for that.
Uh-huh.
It would be we were friends. You like to write jokes, and you also want stage time. and
Inherently,
you-
they
you-
want
yes.
to help.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
just it's just the
interesting.
nature of
Yeah.
the thing. Like, I mean, we always are talking. I mean, the way that comics think and hang would be
Yeah.
in this way,
Well,
organically.
I
Yeah.
think that's I don't know much about how people are taking people out. That's why it's so fascinating. But
Yeah.
I would think that a lot, at least like the old school way, was like bring out someone less funny.
Oh yeah, I don't care about that.
Or like
No.
like who's not like you, so you're not stepping on stuff.
I will say I don't want to bring someone who is very similar to me because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that is a lot of the same
Yeah,
back to back.
back to back. Yeah,
And it's not even because I'm like, oh, we can't talk about the same topics. I just feel like if you talk about the same stuff for 2 hours, people just get bored by the end.
Yeah,
And if it's like 3 people, if it's like host, feature, headliner, you're all talking about the same stuff. By the time I get on stage, they're just bored.
Yes.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
have
yeah,
already heard it, and they're like, it's just not
Premise
fresh.
wise, you're thinking.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just like
Okay.
maybe not original
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever.
yeah, do you have to like sift through their material to make sure, or
No, I guess for me, it's just like
Or are your people doing that?
I.
oh yeah, do you
no,
have
my
people?
Yeah, I have people, but they don't. They don't.
They don't do that.
They don't.
Oh.
They're like- sometimes they'll send
do
me.
that.
I'll get like a list of 5 comics in a city I'm going to because I'm not bringing it over, and they're like, "Oh, who do you think out of these?" And I'm like, "Oh, now I have homework."
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
the
know
worst.
you have
do
to
homework.
watch 5-minute
Yeah.
sets.
I don't want to do that.
No,
It was
Sometimes
tough. Yeah,
I
yeah.
will a little bit, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know. You book somebody. I just like can't.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you barely
Do
did the
that.
homework for this podcast.
I didn't do the homework.
No,
I
I
don't
know.
even remember the question. Peter's like, come up with like something. Here's the question. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, maybe.
What
And
was the question?
I didn't remember to do that.
I
at
don't
all.
even remember, honestly.
Look, none of us remember.
Asian excellence right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, if you're not paying me to do homework, I'm not
absolutely.
doing
We're not
homework.
doing
No, no.
I'm not in college.
I hate homework shows. Like,
Yeah.
it's very rare that I do them anymore. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
the time like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, I remember a time where I certainly was like chomping at the bit and was
Yeah.
like looking for time to write and a reason to and
Yeah.
needed that motivation, but not anymore.
No, I was on academic
you and your-
probation 3 times
Yeah.
for college, like clearly not doing homework.
Yeah,
Yeah. So tell us about your like January the next year. Like, do
Okay.
you have a lot of travel? going
Yeah, I
on?
have a few road shows already booked, and then they're working on booking some more. So
Okay.
that's the plan. But I want to finish writing my like next hour because I put
Hour,
out an
okay.
album like
Yes.
I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, or whatever. And then so now I want to like film a special.
What
So
was
I'm
that
oh, I
like?
want to
Did
do
you
an hour.
Did you get the like reception you wanted?
I I just tried watching it again because I never put out the full video from it because we did shoot the video, but I only put out the audio because it was an album.
Yeah.
We put out the audio. And, you know, now everyone's putting their specials on YouTube.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I did film this thing, so
Yeah.
I should put it out. And I don't really do any of those jokes anymore.
Oh.
But I tried watching it, and it's so hard to watch
Is it?
old stuff.
Is it because of the quality of the video or the quality of the jokes?
I don't think the quality of the video is bad. It could
Okay.
be a little. I did
Sharper?
at the Punchline, and it's
SF?
notorious. Yeah, in San Francisco, great club. But notoriously, the lighting's a little dark. It's not the best
Yes. Yeah.
lighting. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
a theater.
I've seen
you
other
know?
specials there. Yeah.
Yes, it's a little dark. So that would be my qualm about video. But the
Yeah.
audio is great. You know,
Okay.
I did it as an album, so the audio
Yeah.
quality top notch. Sold it out, so good laughs. But the jokes themselves, I'm like
Like you're beyond it
I
now.
feel like I'm better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like that about like jokes that like someone was telling me, hey, do you want to do this 5-minute thing? Do you want to do these specific jokes? Like
That's weird.
they
They
went
picked the
in,
jokes.
they were like picking because
That's
they were
weird.
like, this, we
Who was
really
that?
like
What
this
was
like
this?
North Korean stuff you've done. And I'm like,
Oh.
man, I haven't done that in so long. Like, but like,
Yeah.
it's like almost a request.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
when like,
yeah.
Someone requested a cameo from you.
can you do
These
your
jokes.
bit?
Yeah.
I tried to get George Santos for you.
Oh my
It was
God,
he
that
it
would've
been
deactivated. It was deactivated.
Oh,
so like,
already?
yes.
I mean,
yeah.
we expected that.
Wait, what do you think happened? He like got overwhelmed by gigs?
I feel like Cameo probably got
Yes.
flack for it.
Yeah.
And they were like, we gotta shut this. You know what I mean?
politically
Yes.
speaking. Oh, okay.
Or maybe
Like-
they were like, it was like, you've made enough money. Stop.
Yeah.
Cameo really has.
I don't think that was.
Don't give it. We got to stop personifying corporations.
They're people. What are you talking about?
So we met in Chicago, right? I feel like we have so many touchstones because I also lived in SF, but I don't know if we crossed over in SF.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I left in 2012 to move to Chicago.
And then I moved to San Francisco in 2012.
Oh, we crisscrossed
Wow.
from Chicago.
You cross
Yeah.
streams.
Oh, shit.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
we
I
did
think
cross
I met you right when you had moved there to do stuff. And
Yes,
then I,
and you were heading
I was
back.
leaving. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I lived in San Francisco till like 2018, 2019.
and then you came down
And then
here.
I came here, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And did you guys cross
No,
over,
so
right?
you do not remember me, but I have met you one time.
Okay.
And it was the same time only time I've ever met Joel Kim Booster.
Oh, really? Where?
Two queer icons.
He auditioned for Stir Friday Nights.
You know, I actually do remember that. I remember you auditioned, but I didn't remember that Joel auditioned.
Yes, it was.
That's weird.
Do you remember?
Because I feel like I should remember that Joel auditioned because I know Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
No,
I'm like,
and
oh.
you, I just remembering it. I remember it happening.
I don't know why I ever had any say in who got picked and who didn't get picked and whatever. I was like literally like 20.
Yeah.
22. I don't know how old I was.
I mean,
I
that
don't know
was
why
rough.
they ever accepted me into the group. I was a child.
Yeah, but they were like, they're ready for this power.
Yeah. No,
and then,
truly.
And then and then they were like, we're auditioning, and I have to.
But you've been doing comedy at that point for a minute.
Yeah, but I still was like 20.
Yeah.
I mean, I had been doing comedy at that point for a year.
Okay.
So like I don't think it registered in my mind. In my mind, everyone is 30 always.
Oh yeah.
It didn't occur to me that you'd be so young.
No, I was like a child.
Yeah,
And then,
Joel seemed young to me, but I don't think he was that young. He might have been a little.
He's
older than
definitely
you.
older than me.
Yeah.
He might be younger than you. Probably.
Oh, much. Yeah. But like I just remember that interaction, and his line was like, we all have to introduce ourselves.
Okay.
And his line was, I knew I was gay before I knew I was Asian.
And that's a joke that
that's
he
in
did.
his
That's
at
right.
stand-up.
That's right.
Yes.
And I remember, I was like, and now it's all
That's
because
so
it's like,
funny.
and this is full circle. Like,
Yeah.
like I just remember that and Bex Marsh.
Oh yeah, Bex.
Yes.
I remember Bex. Yeah. I think she was already in the group possibly, or
No,
she was
auditioning.
There was a time
so
when
good.
like Asian, well, first of all, I think we still have to have like Asian groups.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's still so stacked against us. But those were the days where like you had those names like Stir Friday Night.
Yeah.
Or you know what I
Yes.
mean? Or
You had to be like queer Asian.
Yeah.
like sensation.
Yeah.
I mean, funny, is it? I mean, like,
Yeah.
it just, even the font of, I mean, all of it.
It was new to
All
us,
of it was
though.
like
It was-
so like
Yes.
it had to be like we're Asian. We're Asian.
And it was
we're
at
Asian.
the Japanese community
Yes,
center.
it
It was
was.
still at
Yeah.
that place.
Yeah,
Like,
we were like trying to scrape together as many of us possible
Yeah.
to have some sort of coalition or
I know.
some sort
but
of
then
thing.
that was the weird thing is because there were auditions for this group. It's like we could have all just done it.
I know, power in numbers, right?
Yeah,
As-
I feel like it felt exclusionary for us to pick people to join.
no,
When there
it was
aren't that
good.
many
I'm
Asians in it.
all about gatekeeping. Some people need to be left out.
Okay, you know what? She says this because she one day wants to turn around and hurt people.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You don't learn from your trauma.
I don't.
And you
I
roll it
refuse
downhill.
To learn.
I will say though, I did get rejected from like. I went to Northwestern for 2 years, and they never accepted me into their sketch improv group. And out of like spite,
Yes.
I feel like my career has always just been out of spite.
Vengeance
Same.
works.
Same.
Same. Vengeance works. Like
Yeah.
people, like everyone's talking about, like, oh, coming to peace. No, go to
No.
war
No, yeah.
with other people.
I
Dig
feel like it just
into.
makes you work harder. You're like, oh, I need
Absolutely.
to prove that I.
Who
Oh,
has that
something.
internal drive? Psychos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to have an
Who's bored
external.
with that? I guess people who are like natural, like star. You know, like when you see a kid and you're like, "Wow, they're gonna be a star." Like
And they never are.
You don't think
because they're
so?
too supported. Like they
they don't have challenges to
What
overcome.
about Taylor Swift? Because I feel like her parents
she
are like all
creates
in.
she creates the pettiness though. She has
Oh,
so much
that's-
vengeance. She creates it.
true.
It's the same
Yeah.
with Michael Jordan. You have to create it. There
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, they like make it up in their
Yes.
head,
Yeah.
and that's
Yes.
how they get competitive. Oh.
It's not
But
like
we just
Great-
have it normally.
Yeah,
when
because
people
he was-
don't want us, and we're like, okay.
Which is why you have to name it Stir Friday
Friday.
Night, because how else will they know? No, not. I mean, they're great. Every
are great,
organization,
yes.
they're all like the same derivation of whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But like, there was a time that we had to be so super Asian.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we could get off the Chinatown font for a second. Like, not everything needs to like morph into a dragon, you know. Like,
Get off the Chinatown bus.
yeah. Let's take public transportation.
Let's just take regular Muni.
MTA would be fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm sorry, Muni's still too Asian.
No, I mean it's truly it is. Not as Asian as the Bart, but but it's like we're in a. Wouldn't you say like your huge touring Joel Kim Booster we were talking about? You know,
You?
Fine, we're out here too.
Yeah.
We're included. You know, movies like Joyride. There's like so much comparatively representation now, comedy wise,
Yes.
than there ever has been.
Yes.
So I think now to see something like we're Asian, that thing like almost seems like counterproductive, you know,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
like because like we've almost like gotten to a roar of like pop culture, like
Yeah.
with Parasite, with all these like global nominations. So like I wonder if that's like what this next kind of age will be. You know, like will it be
Yeah.
golden age for like Asian comedians?
I feel like
Yeah.
right now is kind of the golden age of
Asian comedians, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Ronnie.
Ronnie,
He's in everything.
Jimmy,
Jimmy,
literally,
yep.
yeah. Ken Jeong everywhere. I mean, he was like grandfathered in from
Yeah.
a different era, but
Everyone
is that shady?
loves Michelle Yeoh
Is that
right
shady?
now.
Michelle Yeoh,
Huge.
Queen of Chinese
Queen,
America.
queen.
Yeah.
Finally getting her flowers. Finally.
I mean, it's been too damn long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're sort of from the dragon era,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the golden era.
Oh yeah, that is the era before us, dragon, and we're gold. Yeah, golden era.
I always want to be a part of the takeout. Like, I want to be Chinese carry out. Like,
I feel like that's backwards.
Yeah,
I don't think that's moving forwards.
you're.
ubiquitous enough where like
Oh, okay.
it's an egg roll on it's a southwestern egg roll on a Chili's menu. You know what I mean? Like having it so folded in. Where it's a
I'm not sure if I know. Do you know? I don't think so. Let's move on. Well, actually,
God.
the homework assignment was minor trauma, but we don't. But I want to know more about like possibly minor traumas on the road. Like, what's some like?
Yeah.
Is there a
Do
hell
you do
gig?
the road?
Sometimes
Okay.
I want to do more.
I mean, I don't know why, but okay.
You don't wait. You don't like it?
I mean,
What's your ideal situation?
I
comedy-wise?
would love the road more if every weekend was like, I just did the Punchline San Francisco, sold out,
Love.
5 shows. That's
That's
what
your
I would
hometown.
love. But that's not how you.
my
Thank you.
God,
But that's
5
not.
shows.
That's not how it normally is for a lot of.
Give
the
us
time.
a normal.
Yeah, I did a show in New Jersey at a comedy club.
What
That's,
city?
Rutherford.
Tough.
And it's a comedy club, but it's really in a hotel. Yeah, but I thought it was a club. It's a hotel.
It says club in it, or is
It's they call it a they said comedy club, and I show up on my hotel room in a hotel, and
Not a room.
sorry, no, not a room.
You had the key to get in. Yeah. Dude.
No, it's a conference room.
Oh no! Pipe and drape.
I mean, it's like, like a regular conference room,
no.
but they set up a stage and there's like a backdrop, and they did the best with that they could with the situation, but it is not a separate comedy club.
they have at least a chair set up like a...
Yeah, there's there's chairs and tables. It's the most like a comedy club you could have in a conference room in a hotel.
Yeah, conference room B at a Marriott.
Small top.
Yeah, like a Marriott.
Yeah.
They had small top.
Yeah, like tabletops. Yeah.
I've done these where they don't have that. Where
Oh
they're
no. There
But-
would like people could order food. The food was actually very good at this hotel, I will say.
Okay.
And there's chairs and stuff. Yeah, but it's acoustically and
Horrible,
lighting wise,
'cause
it's not what it's supposed to be.
It's ballroom.
Yes,
it's so
it's too
tall.
The
You
room's
don't
too
need all
big.
that.
You don't have soundproofing.
No.
There's like a weird echo.
Yeah, I
And
hate
it's
that.
not gonna trap the laughs in like you
was
want in a comedy.
Was it full though?
Oh, was it full? Absolutely
of course,
not.
It's Rutherford.
No.
So what percent?
Do you
Like
think my fans are in Rutherford, New Jersey?
I know they're
Absolutely
not. They got get out if you are.
They drove in from Rhode Island.
Yeah. Look, and some people did drive from New York City to come see me, which was very
Go
nice.
off. Yeah, that's great.
That's nice.
That's great fandom.
But
what was it like? Half full?
But I
or-
was sad.
I would be
I was
terrified.
sad. Yeah, and also I was staying in the same hotel where I was doing these shows after.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I'm like I should quit.
Do you party?
No.
Like drink or drunks?
No, I
drugs?
don't do
Neither?
No, nothing.
Do you fuck on the road?
No.
Okay, so this is exactly what I asked her about because she just recently did Sioux Falls with Fortune
And I opened up.
Feemster?
feature.
And
No, Fortune feature for her.
No, I'm trying to say Feemster. Yeah. Not Fortune featured for you. I was like, that's weird.
Fortune was like, I'm taking a night off.
I'm huge in soup. I'm a huge in soup. So one market, I'm killing it.
Congrats. That's awesome. That's a great gig.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really incredible, like a dream. But there is nothing to do, and it's like when you, especially if you have like a big gig, or even it's like the same sort of feeling afterwards.
Yeah.
You either want to like sustain,
Yeah.
or you want to deaden.
Yeah.
Like, but the impulse is the same.
So what did you do after?
I asked the girl that was driving me around to take me to a gas station, and then I got a big can of White Claw and order some Taco Bell, and then
That sounds bad.
yeah.
But I was saying, like, yeah, that's
Where
how
was
you.
Fortune and all this?
schmoozing.
Oh, okay.
Like she was,
And you,
Yeah.
and you were like, I can't. Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, how do you come down from like gigs on the road?
like the punchline, or even this. Like,
Uh,
we're talking about this.
Like even this?
This one, yeah, this gig. You're gonna need a downer after this, because we're
Also,
lit up.
This is in the middle of the day. I have other errands I could run right after this.
You're gonna target it after this. Yeah.
I might actually. I need to buy some milk. Well, the problem is, especially if you do two shows in a night, you're done at like 11, 12. There's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to do unless you
Yeah.
just go to a bar or something. I don't drink,
Right,
and I'm not I'm
Into
an
the
introvert.
strange.
I'm an introvert,
Yeah.
so I don't really want to talk to strangers,
right.
and I don't want to talk to fans for that long. I'll do the like meet and greet, whatever, but after that, I don't want to like go hang
You're
out
not trying
with
to be
them more.
friends or like.
No.
Yeah.
Hang
No.
out with them more.
Some people,
Some people want to hook up.
yeah,
The people that just laughed at them.
yeah.
So embarrassing.
Yeah. Look, I've done it before, and I don't think it's a good idea.
Why? Because I've just recently
That
had
you-
this experience.
That you hooked up with someone
Who was a fan?
who's a fan, like a big fan. I think it depends on
They
the
listened to the
level.
podcast.
Oh, yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
It was intimate. Like to the point where I was
Yeah.
like,
That's
you
too
know
much.
more about me than I know about you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's too much. I've hooked up with like someone that I met, but they had also just randomly been at a show. Where it's
Okay.
like, oh, you weren't like even a fan of mine, which is a little offensive at that point. But like,
But I
was
bet
like, you
it's
didn't even know me,
it's a hotter get. It's a hotter get.
right? Because they were like, oh, I liked what you did, even though I didn't know you. I'm like, okay, and then it's
Exactly.
like you don't know that much about me, minus whatever I just said for the last 40 minutes, so it doesn't matter.
That's like true.
Yeah.
You are. That's an opportunity for you to spit your best game.
Right, but also I don't want to do any of that anymore.
No?
But, no, I don't want. I want it to be two separate things.
Too complicated.
At this point, I want to get married to someone, and like right before we exchange rings, I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm a comedian.
You want an arranged marriage? You want to lift the veil and be like, I got a 5 for you.
You're catfish. You want a marital catfish.
Because I'm just sick of people asking questions about comedy.
Yes.
What do you mean? Like about your job or like asking you
Yeah,
to tell
well,
them jokes?
Like whenever like someone finds out.
I'd imagine.
It doesn't matter anywhere. If someone finds out you're a comedian and they've never met a comedian before or anything, they're like,
no.
"Who's your favorite comedian?" Like,
Have you
I've
watched
always
this?
wanted to do comedy or like yada yada.
No.
Literally,
Red flag.
Going back to women in STEM.
Deaf mute videographer.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what you need. You need a deaf mute videographer that'll love you for what you look like.
Because, we were talking about like the kind of like specific kind of like that type of girl is terminally, chronically unimpressed by things in that sort of arena.
right.
Oh, so maybe someone who reads.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a literate.
that aren't like plugged into culture in that way.
Yeah.
You know where.
But like comedy's become such like it used to be like counterculture, but now it's like pop.
Yeah.
It's like
People like
guys,
love comedy now. We're
People
in
are
a way
like
that's weird.
comedy fans.
Yeah.
People are
So-
like, I love to laugh. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, we all love to laugh.
What
you
the
psycho.
fuck? It's the best medicine, bitch,
Yeah.
and healthcare's
Like,
expensive.
what are you talking about?
The fuck?
Yeah. I actually did a version of this. I did it. I got married and then started doing comedy, and then he was upset.
Are you still married?
Barely.
Oh,
They have 2 kids. Shut up.
okay.
They have 2
But I mean,
kids.
So I have to turn back the clock, meet someone, and then be like, by the way, I'm starting comedy.
But like you're on the road so much, and when you're not on the road, you're probably just like truly decompressing alone or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's just like, well, who has time to date?
How do you
Because if you're
date?
on the road that much, it's like, okay, when am I gonna have time to hang out with you the 2 days that I'm home? Like,
Yeah,
it's just not-
exactly.
it's so yeah.
I bet
I'm
when you
not.
get home, you don't want to see anyone.
I don't. Well, I want to see my like a few friends, but only if it works to my schedule.
Of course.
Yeah. And you're lucky when you text me. You're like, I was like, oh, I'm free this week. I've been home for like a week, so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'll do the podcast.
Thank
But if
God you
if
made
you
it.
texted me like right when I like flew in, I'd be like, no.
No way.
Well, because
No.
also you live kind of far from me.
And I also would not take it. I would not take it personally.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't, because like you're doing this again, not paid.
Yeah.
And
No. It's
she's
okay.
a profesh.
And that's why I didn't do the homework, but I am here. I was like, you're lucky I drove. So the homework is driving. Wait, so we didn't talk about you hooking up with this person.
Oh yes.
Well, this person.
This
Okay,
fan.
so
This fan that listened to the podcast.
but the crazy thing is, we had hooked up 10 years ago in Chicago.
Sorry, what?
Yes.
Are you gonna talk about it right now?
I know we're gonna talk about it.
Let me
I
get my
asked-
water. Hang
okay.
on.
I asked his permission.
You did?
I did.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Are you still hooking up?
He's in Chicago.
Okay. So
Oh, well-
there's planes.
Sure, but not actively. But we hooked up 10 years ago. I was a different person. He was a different person. I find out 10 years, way younger, more stamina and motivation. And he, couple of years ago, he started following me on
Okay.
Instagram, and I was like,
Did you
it's
notice?
this guy that
Okay.
I used to hook up with.
Okay.
You noticed?
Cool. Yeah, because like, I don't know, he was like liking my stuff, and I was like, oh, this
okay.
guy.
So he was wanting to be noticed.
Well, yeah, he wasn't
Yeah.
just following and like creeping.
Yeah.
So, I started like liking his stuff, and he looks great. So I'm like, all right, like
Okay.
little flirty, like winky, whatever. And then like that has,
The IG dance is so intricate.
Yeah.
and yeah, he's younger than me, so he's really good at the IG dance, and I'm like stumbling around.
It's a 1 and a 2.
And a 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm like electric sliding into his DMs.
Yes, the young are just kind of, you know what I mean? They're TikToking through it.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, this dad. Okay.
Yeah. So like I reached out, and last time I was in Chicago, things worked out, and we did end up hooking up again. So like in 10 years, it was like a reunion of sorts.
Interesting. Okay.
And the hookup was so good, so much better.
Wow.
And I'm thinking
It's
like,
because of all the podcasts you
well,
listen
I
to.
didn't know that, Irene. Like, I was like, oh my God, this must be because like it's a reuniting and we're like old flames doing this. Turns out afterwards he was like, are you going to talk about this on the podcast? And I'm like, what? You listen? He was like, yeah, I know this, and this. And I'm like, oh my God, all that eye contact was fanaticism. Like,
That's the umami of sexual
but here's the thing. Within 10 years, this person had listened to me and had digested me content-wise. So they have it's like a parasocial. Like they have an intimacy with you that you don't have with them. So you're on like different playing fields. But so while you're hooking up, it's like super intense, and I'm going, whoa, where is this coming from? But for them, like, this is like almost like emotionally edged because they have been listening to me.
Wow.
Right. Ooh, I know. That's she's getting hard.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So it was a really interesting moment of like, wow, the sex was great, but also like, is it tainted because of this like imbalance of intimacy?
Or is the intensity of the hookup because of that?
Because of the imbalance?
Yes.
Because he knows so much about me and I know nothing about him.
You guys should hook up again, but you should make him do some podcasts that you can listen to.
Yeah, I should get him to start a podcast, and then I listen to the first 100 episodes, and then I go back.
You'll know when you go back whether or not it's because you didn't know.
Yeah.
Or now, if once you do know, if that imbalance still exists.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to like, I love an A/B test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stop. Oh my God. Yeah, woman in STEM.
It's me.
I mean, that to me is like kind of a nightmare scenario to be like so unequivocally accepted. That feels crazy.
You can't handle that.
I mean, also, that's not erotic to me. Gross.
Yeah. Well, you're turned down by people stepping on you, so yeah.
I was like, does your husband not unequivocally understand you? I'm confused right now.
I'm constantly explaining. No,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, of course. But like in terms of the initial dance of everything,
Yeah.
kind of turning into it, the ignition turn of it. Yeah, that's sort of, I don't know if I
That
could
is
do
weird.
Because it's like the Groucho Marx said,
I don't know if I
be a part of any club that would have me as a member.
I feel like that too, and I think if
Yeah,
I knew
yeah.
that before we hooked up, it would have went so bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have been in
Yeah.
my head the entire time.
Yeah.
But like, so it's actually great that it turned out that way, and I like found out about it later.
Yeah.
Hi, by the way. See you in Chicago.
Better start that podcast real
Yeah.
quick.
Patreon.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that is sort of one of the dangers of like being on the road for a long time. Like, you do sort of fall into this thing because you're looking for connection. It is sort of like, So wait, ultimately, how do you come down then from those?
Oh, yeah. No, I just stay up.
Oh, like watch TV or
Yeah, so I'll go back to the hotel and I'm probably up for like an hour or two more.
okay.
Yeah, it's hard for me to like
Of
naturally.
course.
Or like I'll get into bed, but I can't fall asleep, so
Right.
I'll be on Instagram or like I'll watch
Doom
Shark
scroll,
Tank or,
yeah.
doom scroll. I'm trying to read now before bed. That's
That
like
helps.
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reading Grit. Have you read that book, Angela Duckworth?
Mm-mm.
Oh, is this the?
Is that?
It's
She had a TED Talk that was
yeah,
like kind of
that's
big.
about like how to raise children with grit or having grit.
I think it's it's about having grit and like kind of doing that, and also children too. Yeah.
I am ardently a part of this community of it's like the same genre of parenting that says like there's a correct correct amount of trauma you can inflict on your child.
Yeah,
It's
I would agree.
a razor's edge.
Yeah. It's like you need to have a little, but like
Yeah.
not so much that they need to be in therapy forever.
Right. For Koreans, though, that's a hard line to really ride because we delve into abuse very fast. We're very angry people.
Yeah, but there's so much stuff like going well for. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to live in a house where people aren't worried about money. It's like to me,
Yeah.
I'm just like, everything about your life is better. Shut up.
Yeah.
That's what our parents did to us.
Yeah.
They're like, we're in
Literally.
America, bitch. Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. What do you mean a hug?
Yeah. But they're also like, we have no money.
Yeah, exactly.
Use these broken folders for 5 more years. And later wonder why you can't spend any money.
Yeah, and carry this trauma onto
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
Truly, like my mom still mentions the time that she bought me name brand Oreo cookies. Like she's like,
I didn't know they had not name brand Oreo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They have like different designs, like flower design on the side. Yeah, it's yeah.
The inside looks. I mean, all of it. It's brittle.
It's chalkier.
All of it.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, she remembers spending 59 to 99 cents more on
Yeah.
cookies because it was the name brand.
But that was the greatest sacrifice she could have made for you.
But I mean, it's just like she points to it as evidence that there's no way that like your life couldn't have been that bad.
Right.
Remember
Right.
this time?
You got brand name Oreos, bitch.
And you're like, now I have diabetes. So
I mean, I don't think I would ever do that. But the grit, there is, especially right now, in so much like the self-help and it's like I think self-love and kindness sort of thing. Where just going back to the gatekeeping, like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People should face a little bit of rejection. There's never been a no I've taken too seriously.
yeah, I think the whole point is that you can't live in a bubble where everything's okay all the time. You're going to get, something's going to go wrong. You're going to get rejected. You have to like deal with that. And that's kind of also what the book is about. It's just like, kind of pushing through that and figuring out what it is that you want to do and just focusing on that.
Yeah. And if your parents didn't give it to you, be like Michael Jackson and figure it out yourself. Michael Jackson. Oops. Michael Jordan.
I was like, wait, I don't know where this analogy is going.
Michael Jordan was beat. Okay.
But I'm going to have to leave before the kids get brought in. I'm like, yikes.
This is the section of the podcast to where you, yeah. No, but just to round out the conversation, if the road is not like particularly the ideal situation as a comic that has reached some sort of, what would you say, success?
Sure.
Some level of success, right?
Yeah.
What would be your ideal like next 2 years as a comedian?
I think ideally, because I think there's a difference between doing the road, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, and then doing the next level, which is you're on tour and people come to see you, and it's not you're doing the road.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because like when I did the Punchline in San Francisco, that was kind of like I was on tour, people came to see me, and yeah, I'm billing my whole thing as a tour, whatever. But in some cities, it is like I'm doing the road, in my opinion, which is different. Which is I am going to a city doing comedy there, and some of my fans will show up and a lot of people will not show up, or they're just random people that went to see comedy.
And you'll get new fans from that.
And you'll get new fans. But ultimately, if I... yeah.
Please stop projecting your career onto Irene.
Oh my God, the hotel. But that's what I'm saying. That's doing the road, is that hotel gig that I did.
Yeah.
But it's like, I would love to do, I don't need to be like the biggest comedian in the world necessarily, but I would love to do like, I'm doing a theater tour or whatever, small theaters even, and it sold out, but all those people came to see me. They wanted to hear what I had to say.
Yes.
That would make me feel better than like, I'm doing the road. I'm gone every weekend. I'm doing these shows for whoever shows up.
Right.
I want to pick and choose where I go.
You go.
How many shows I do, which nights.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
This is my dream.
This
is my
right,
dream.
This is everyone's dream, I
Yeah.
think, that starts doing comedy, like wants to be like a stand-up comedian. You're like, I want people to come see me, but also I don't want to go in a city that
I
won't
told my
care about
agents
me.
I don't want to go to a city where there's no Korean spot or a gay bar.
Yeah.
That has to be, because like there's so many cities without that, which really boils down like you could tour 5 cities. But like, if I could
I
only
don't
tour
really
5
wanna do
cities and
Iowa.
make money, that's what I mean.
I'm like,
if I could
they
sustain,
offer it to me now, I'll do it. But like in 5 years, I
wanna
hope I don't have to do that.
Exactly.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Is I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that city. Let's
Yeah.
not.
But you'd also be surprised. Like the Sioux Falls gig, I literally was like, I don't know that there are many lesbians
Yeah.
in South Dakota.
True.
And
Yeah.
And there were.
Yeah.
It's
But she is quite famous.
She's very famous.
Yeah,
Very
she's drawing the lesbians out.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
the
yeah.
Pied Piper of
They're
lesbians.
driving in.
From
They're
Nebraska,
yeah. They're coming in.
There's a North Dakota person
yeah.
coming.
I mean, she's very, very famous. Yes,
Yeah.
but like I will say that I was always of the opinion like I never wanted to be someone's first Asian. Like that was sort of my barometer.
Okay.
I don't need all the other stuff. It's just in terms of safety for me. Like I'm very easily abducted. Like, like,
You do have a abducted face.
Yeah.
You can see my fake picture. Like
You're painted for sex
Yeah.
slavery.
Like, I'm just like pulling up by just like this. Like I have a handle, and like they can just be picked up. So there's a little bit of a safety concern for me.
Well, don't you worry because Irene's already crossing America, so she will be their first Asian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm setting up the stage.
Yeah, exact for you.
No,
Yeah.
they don't want to abduct me. I don't got abducting face over here.
The marketplace is not. I mean, unless there's a huge like lesbian contingency looking for human trafficking.
No. I just that I will say it's like the dream, of course, is to go on tour.
But where you want to go.
Yeah.
Not have to tour.
Not like I have to go to these places to make money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will be broke.
Yeah, that's such a hard thing to achieve nowadays. I feel like I don't know if you see this with like the saturation of people touring and comics out there. Like not even some nowadays, just reality people are touring.
Oh yeah,
You know, like
TikTokers,
personal appearances.
YouTube, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. And those are taking up these like spots
course,
and dates
yeah.
and stuff. So like we're not competing just with comics anymore.
No, you're competing against people who actually can bring people out to shows,
Yeah, like who
even
have
if
like
they're bad at comedy.
Oh, absolutely.
But they can sell the tickets.
Or they're not even doing comedy.
Yeah.
It's like we're all lining up for the race and you're next to you, and it's like they're not all runners.
No.
Some people are in cars.
Yeah.
Like, some people
That's a good analogy.
like it's like, oh, okay, so race that go, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
You're like, well, obviously the car's gonna make
yeah,
it.
Look at this bitch on a scooter. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm wearing heels. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
You're like, I'm the best runner here, but that's a scooter.
Let me ask you, as you go out on your 2024 road gigs and go on tour, how close do you think you are to finishing your hour right now?
I was literally in the car talking to my manager about this. It's been close for the last 3 months,
Sure.
but it's still not there, and I don't exactly know.
Why?
I mean, I know why, but I don't know how long it's gonna take to kind of finish. Like I know. I think I know.
Tell us
know
in
when
minutes.
it's
How many minutes are you missing?
Or is it a through
It's not minutes that I'm missing.
Oh.
I think I have enough time.
Oh.
But it's not it's the order I had to switch, so it doesn't make sense necessarily. And then the end line is not working. Because I know what it should be, like concept wise or whatever, but the words not working.
Okay.
So whatever I'm saying, it's not getting that pop that you want at the end of a special.
Right.
You know, you want like a big laugh.
Yeah.
And
So you're
and
just kind of
credits.
working at that.
This is kind of
Yeah.
what you want to end on a
Big laugh. You don't want to end on a, well, I'm getting off stage. Definitely don't want that.
You heard it here last.
Yeah.
That's a tough one when it's like something about the flow of the thing.
The flow is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's raps and doing it and fucking. Yeah.
Just massaging it on the road.
Yeah.
How do you? What's your process? Do you put all the shit out on cards and look and then?
No, maybe I should do that. That might help.
It's just like when you look
I'm
at
serious.
it-
I've never done that.
Because when you mentally look at it like that, you see your thought process.
Yeah, I should try that. Yeah, I should try that. I've never done that. I'll usually write the set list just down, and then when I'm on stage trying it, I can kind of see how it's going and whether it's going well or not well. And a lot of the times, I'll kind of see something when I'm half awake, half asleep.
Yes.
I don't know if you do that when you're like laying in bed and you're like, okay, I'm thinking through the thing. And then right before you're about to fall asleep, you're like, I got it.
I got it. Yeah, exactly.
But you have to like remember to write that down before you actually fall asleep. You wake up and you can't remember it at all.
I never remember it.
Yeah.
I never remembered either.
How many hours I've lost to dreams?
Oh, I know. You know, I read a book in which there was like an artist that would do this. Oh, apparently there's something that happens in your brain right before you fall asleep that really helps with the creative process. So what he would do, he was like sitting and he'd like kind of fall asleep and he had a notepad and a pen. And then I don't remember exactly what would happen, but he'd like sort of wake up. Either there was an alarm or like his pen would move or something. And then when he was like kind of startled awake, he would like write down what he's thinking.
Oh,
And
cool.
that's like would help.
Wow,
But I don't remember
interesting.
where I read this, so I kind of got to find that. But I should try to do that because I feel like I do find really interesting
Do you drive?
things. Yeah, sometimes when I'm driving.
I
yeah.
always get solutions when I drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I plugged this before, but we'll get into plugs in just a sec. Do you have a Apple Watch?
I don't.
If you do get one,
Okay.
this voice record button
Okay.
is so instrumental for my like writing solutions because I always get it while I drive or like when I'm doing something motor and I'm turning my brain off.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't have a pen while I drive and
Yeah,
stuff
so
or
you're
like
gonna, like talk on your phone.
yeah, it really does help.
Or talking to your.
And it feels like you're
Watch.
like Inspector Gadget.
That's funny.
I
Or like in the shower.
Shower. But it's that
Shower.
like thing, right? You're like
Yeah,
washing
you
or
have to
doing
like be
something
doing
motor.
Some
yeah.
kind of activity that you do a lot, so you're not actively thinking about that
there you
activity.
go. Yeah.
And then so the other part of your brain can work on.
Kicks in and then
other
it like solves
stuff.
the thing.
I don't know what.
But that's,
Yeah.
with driving, that's the reason why I've started to drive in silence. It's a psychotic thing. I never thought I'd be one of those people, but that's what helps. Like if I go for walks, I actively often now, especially since I'm trying to build new material, like listen to no music. Not even auxiliary like jazz or anything, just then the words and the thoughts and like your internal rhythm of how you want to say it emerges. Because I have a tough time speaking out loud. Because
Yeah, I don't do a lot of that. Yeah.
I don't. You internalize.
You don't like your own voice?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's you internalize your bits like out of words. For me, I'm more like conceptual. Like I'm kind of like, oh, this is like a thing I want. You know this. Like I have this idea that I want to kind of, and it leads to this other idea, and it's like a point.
Yeah.
Kind of make.
Yeah, I kind of do that too. Yeah.
So it's like harder for me to just like speak it out. So it's like more of like an internal thought.
Yeah, that's why I kind of will write, or I'll jot stuff in my phone a lot where I'm like, oh, this is kind of the chunk that I want to talk, and then I like jot a note down, and then I like think about this, and I jot a note down.
Backwards from that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so different than Men Are From Mars.
And that's what we're at.
All right, this is coming. This is going to be in January. So, like,
Okay.
if there's anything like general you want to plug your socials, whatever, or like if you have something like a big thing coming up you want attention.
Yeah.
On.
Well, I'm just constantly on tour, so if you can find me at Irene_2, that's TU on Instagram and
It's the informal Irene.
yeah,
Stupid.
or Irene2 Comedy on TikTok, Facebook,
Yeah.
whatever, or just go to my website irene2.com for all the tour dates and yeah, come see me live.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.